Good evening, y'all, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be showing a remodeled version of my gaming PC. You know, that I was able to remodel it with a new case and of course a new CPU cooler. And of course it's a vintage style light bulb. Kind of like an original Thomas Edison, but of course it's modern LED technology. Anyway, back to this. So yeah, that's the gaming PC. Of course, this had a glass here that I took off because it was blocking airflow. So of course, it got these three fans. Of course, there's the Enermax CPU cooler doing all those fancy lighting effects. Of course, right here we got a Core i7 4770K CPU. We got 16 gigabytes of DDR3 Corsair Dominator Platinum, running at, of course, 2400 megahertz. And of course, down here we got a GeForce GTX 1080 GPU. Of course, here I got some USB ports, and up here, of course, I can turn the case fans off if I wanted to. You know, say if I wasn't really doing any gaming, if I just didn't need all that extra lighting and noise, I can just turn that off right there, or turn it on low. Of course, that's high. And of course, over here I got the Acer Dominator Platinum. No, excuse me. Acer Predator 24-inch G-Sync monitor, full HD. Alright. First, we're going to run a benchmark, see how it scores. Carly girl. Not sure who that is. Alright, let's see here. Now, the benchmark I like to use is so user benchmark. There it is. Must need a little bit of time for it to detect the internet connection. Yeah, it does all that fancy lighting effects. Never seen anything like that. Okay. see what this thing's doing. Checking if it's drives, I guess. Of course, for the main boot drive, I got a Samsung 860 EVO 250GB SSD. Also got another 275 SSD from Crucial, and of course a 3TB hard drive from Seagate was the storage for large game files and whatnot. And got the results here. Was a high functioning alcoholic. Yeah, I remember those years when I used to be an alcoholic, you know, drinking a lot, but thankfully for me it's been about 4 years ago since I last drank anything alcoholic. It's been at least 4 years ago, so thankfully I'm doing good with that. Anyway, here's our results here. For the gaming score, we got 114%. Desktop score, we got a 98. It's a nuclear submarine. Gaming, it's a UFO. Workstation 76, a battleship. PC status, overall this PC is performing above expectations. A first person tile, that means out of 100 PCs with exactly the same components, 19 perform better. Processor with a brilliant single core score, the CPU is the business. It demolishes everyday tasks such as web browsing, office apps, video, audio playback. Of course, it scored a 94.3. For graphics, it scored 186%, which of course that's from the 1080 in there. 126% for the SSD score, 16 gigs of RAM. Windows 10. See more details there. Yeah, so I actually have it overclocked to about 4.3 gigahertz. It shows about right there, more or less. So 94.3. Of course, the GTX 1080. 136. Of course, that's the SSD that I have for the main boot drive. Of course, that's the secondary SSD. Of course, that's the 3TB hard drive. And of course, that's another old hard drive that I stuck in there. It's like an old 2005 hard drive. Just stuck it in there, you know, for extra storage and whatnot. And of course the Corsair Dominator Platinum DDR3 2400 C10 CAS10. And of course I can try a brand new game that just now came out this past week or so, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I never got what they call this game, Rainbow Six. Is it like a rainbow or something? Do they see a bunch of rainbows? I don't know. Alright. Options. VSync. So, exclusive full screen. That's what we want there. Of course, we're basically on max on everything. It's like a new game. I believe it was released like on the 14th of September, you know, just probably about a week and a half ago, somewhere like that. Peruvian jungle. Yeah, I guess we're at some kind of alright, here we are, 1080p. Max quality, max settings basically. 16xAA, or anti, whatever you call it, anisotropic. And here I'm getting, these are around 92, something like that. This is supposed to go over there. Yeah, thankfully she's got a big strong man with her, so that's good there. Yeah, getting around 90 to 100 FPS on here. So that's not half bad, especially considering this is like a 5-year-old CPU and motherboard, and the RAM also is like 5 years old from 2013. Of course, I guess also that GTX 1080, I imagine also helps things as well. Also considering that this CPU is overclocked to 4.3 gigahertz. Well, I just wanted to show y'all one of the new games that this can run. Go to quit game. Of course, I can check my temps there. It's basically maxed at 79, which I guess for a Haswell, that's pretty much my goal there, is stay under 80. Of course, currently at 35 C on idle. And of course, you can see there that the max clock speed is 4300 megahertz or 4.3 gigahertz. And of course, the GPU is overclocked, plus 150 on the core and plus 600 on the memory. Well, That ends this video here.